Hello, beautiful souls. Today I am here to do a reading for the Divine Masculine Fire signs. This reading is good for today through the end of January. And I woke up this morning, saw the date 1/20/2020, and thought, okay, today's the day to do a reading. Energy is good. And let's see what's going on with these masculines. So I have a lot of decks that I'm using today, and I'll have the information about each of these decks in the description box below. And I will try to remember to introduce them as I go, but if you don't catch it, then you can read about it later if you're interested. Okay, we're starting today with the Spirit of the Animals Oracle, and what I'd like to do is get some energies on where you and your masculine counterpart are energetically. So we're just going to get a couple of cards here for the two of you, just to see what we're dealing with. So give me just a moment to select the correct cards and try again. Okay, for the masculine, we are going with this card right here. Oops, that's upside down. Sea turtle. Let me hold this up a little better. Sea turtle, protection. You are master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. This is beautiful. So Divine Masculines from now to the end of January are in this energy of sea turtle or protection. So I love that. All right, feminines. Where are you for the second half of January? Feeling it's right here. This is it. Okay, I thought I turned it around. All right, it's the loon. Okay, it says intuitive. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. So this is actually really beautiful energy for the both of you, and I feel like you are mirroring each other in a way, because with the sea turtle, this is about finding the flow of life and being in harmony with your spiritual path. And the loon is sort of just taking some time out, following your intuition and knowing that your path is protected and that you're loved. So I really like those energies. So we're just going to kind of leave those there to frame the reading. And we're going to next get a card from the Lover's Oracle. And of course, I've already pre-shuffled all of my decks off camera, but I'm going to give it a couple of more shuffles on camera. And this deck is a little bit tricky to get a hold of and shuffle, but there we go. One good shuffle there. And so what I'm getting here is the energy of your connection. What is the energy of this connection with fire sign masculines and their divine feminine counterparts? What is the current energy of this connection? Where are you at? Feeling it's, no, but it's this one right here. This one. All right. Okay, so this is the back side of the card. They're all different. This is really beautiful. I have no idea what it is. All right, so what it says is, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Well, this is really beautiful, because what I'm getting from this card is, if you are in fact a twin flame, which if you're watching this video, you probably are, you are the same soul. And what that card is saying is that, you know, no matter what happens, you are the same soul. It says, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul. And if you're the same soul, then it's just a reminder that you can't lose something that you are. So I actually really love that message for the overall energy of the connection right now. And for the next, 10 days, I guess, 11 days. So the next card I'm going to pull is from the Gilded Tarot. And we are going to actually use this first row to look into what the masculine is going through right now. What's he just in general, energetically, like where is he at? What's he going through as it relates to his life in general? So where are we at? Oh, okay, already we got one out. So first card out is the Five of Pentacles. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the 4 cards here, and then I'm going to talk about each of them once we get a story. So what is this masculine going through right now in general in his life? Fire Sun, Divine Masculines, what are they dealing with right now? Okay, we got another flipper. Oh, wow. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Okay. All right, 2 more cards. What is this? Here we go. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles for our 3rd card, and for our final card in the row. Oh, all right, well that just flew right out. Let me grab that. Okay, and we have the 10 of Swords. And we'll put that one right here, so hopefully you can see those cards. I like to check the bottom of the deck, and interesting, bottom of the deck is the 7 of Swords. So I see the bottom of the deck as the kind of overriding energy for the row, and 7 of Swords is about it's about sneaky behavior, but it's also just about being not only dishonest with others, but it could also be dishonest with yourself. You know, some people will say wearing a mask, and so this masculine, what I'm getting from looking at the rest of the spread, is that he's not talking about how he really feels. He's not being honest with himself or his, and I'm getting current partners, so it's possible that this is a masculine who is in a current karmic relationship. Doesn't have to be, but I think for some of you that's definitely the case. So with the 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles is, you know, a card that has an energy of being left out, being left behind, being sort of left out in the cold. Okay, so he's feeling right now, just in general, that the world is passing him by. I'm getting this is more of like, this doesn't have anything to do with your connection, but it's like maybe he feels that he's missed opportunities have come and gone, and he's sort of missed the boat. And with this 5 of Wands coming up next, this is a card of conflict. It can be an indication of, you know, too many people involved. But it's just conflict. So I'm feeling this is inner conflict. He's feeling very conflicted about where to make his investment. Okay, because he's really wanting to move forward and do more with his life, you know, I'm getting. And this is really causing him a lot of anxiety. And this anxiety is self-imposed. It's something that he's, you know, created himself. And perhaps the reason why he's in this energy is because he hasn't really been honest with himself about what he should be doing and about what his spiritual path that he's called to be on. And interesting, underneath that card, I just have to call it out, is the Empress, which is a part of the spiritual path of a divine masculine. So with this protection sea turtle card here that we kind of got for his energy at the beginning, it's be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. So these cards are really speaking to the fact that he doesn't feel settled on the path that he's been on, and he's really trying to work out how to find his way. He's feeling very conflicted, and perhaps there are too many people talking to him about what they think he should be doing, and what he's trying to figure out is, should I be listening to what everyone else thinks I should do or what they tell me I should be doing, and just put the investment in what I know intuitively is right for me. So right now he may be struggling with things like career and just what he's been doing with his life and how he's been investing his time. So we're going to go ahead and take those cards back, and I'm going to reshuffle this deck because I'd like to stick with it for one more row for the masculine. But this time what we're going to ask is how he's feeling, how he's feeling in his heart space about you, Divine Feminine. So in general, he's feeling unsettled, and he's really examining his life and the choices that he's made to get him where he is, and whether or not those choices were really the right ones. So he's feeling it really in that 3D world. But as it relates to you, Feminine, how is he feeling about you? How's this masculine feeling in his heart space toward his Divine Feminine? Wow. First card out is the Two of Cups. That's a pretty good start. Okay, get 3 more cards here. And how this masculine is feeling about, whoa, these cards really want to talk. Sorry, let me collect these really quick. Let me shuffle again really quick. How is this masculine feeling about his Divine Feminine in the heart space? Okay. All right, this one really wants to come out. Oh, Ace of Swords. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So what I'm getting already just off of these first 2 cards is how is he feeling? Oh, sorry, let me stop real quick. So the next card out we get is the 7 of Pentacles. And then we have the Major Arcana Temperance card, which is the Sagittarius card. I don't know why I needed to say that. So maybe he's a Sagittarius, or the Watcher might be a Sagittarius. Okay. So, bottom of this deck is the Death card. So, if this is the most important energy in this line, death is about rebirth. It's about the dying of the old to make way for something new. So that's actually really beautiful. So we've got the Two of Cups here, and the Two of Cups is, it's a soulmate card. It's a twin flame card. It is a person who he feels he has a spiritual connection with. And with this Ace of Swords right next to it is this is something that maybe he's really only recently come to terms with and understanding the truth. I think Spirit's been nudging all of these masculines along for months, and perhaps now in this last half of January, he's going to start to see you. Well, whenever we're talking about feelings here, but he's really going to start to understand his feelings about you in a different way, and really start to feel that spiritual connection with you in a way that he may not have before. And what he really so this is about working towards something, planting seeds, right? So it's like Spirit is planting seeds to bring about healing. I see the Temperance card not only as, this alchemical mixture of this divine. So I actually love this card for twin flame readings. We have the masculine fire energy and the feminine water energy, and this alchemical mixing, this coming together of the two in a balanced and healed way. So what I'm getting is he really is starting to feel the loss of your connection, and he really wants to work toward balance and healing with you. Yeah, and my right ear just started ringing, so that's a sign that I am on the right track. So in the second row, I'd like to take a look at how he sees you. And so what I'm using here is the Thelema Tarot. It's a really beautiful deck. It's one of my favorites. And so in this deck, we're looking at how does he see you, Divine Feminine? How is your Divine Masculine seeing you? How does he view you? When he thinks about you, how does he see you? Okay, let's get a couple cards here. Oops. All right, so the first card I have is the Three of Wands. Interesting. And it's gonna fall right under our Two of Cups. Okay. Whoa. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Wow. Okay. So I have 4 cards flipped out, and I'm going to take all 4 of them because I'm feeling strongly that this is what we're supposed to be looking at. Believe it or not, for the second card in this row, we got the Ace of Swords. So we've got the Ace of Swords under the Ace of Swords. So that's Spirit's way of saying, this really hit him like a thunderbolt. This is huge energy. Huge. This is massive. Okay. Underneath this working toward, we get the Knight of Pentacles, which is amazing because the Knight is, that's the Knight you actually want coming towards you. He's stable. He's reliable, but he's slow. But he's the one that's going to stick around. And the last 2 cards, that came out, I'm going to keep them together, is we have the Moon card, which is about facing fears. So perhaps in the past, this masculine might have said, or might have had some fear of commitment or some fear of the deep emotional, like this is too intense for me kind of thing. And he's finally coming into his willingness to understand, to face those fears. And it's like, also the Moon is about illusions. And when I talked about with that Ace of Swords, seeing you in a different way, because now we're talking about seeing, and I kept wanting to say seeing, and I knew we were talking about emotions, so that definitely wanted to come out. But the illusions are being stripped away. And what is the energy following this Moon card? It is the Empress. That's you, Divine Feminine. The fear and illusion he had about his Empress, we have right here under the Temperance card. And that's what I said. He, in his heart, in his feeling space, he wants to come forward and heal and work on this with you. And in his, how does he view you? He sees you right now as a missed opportunity. This Three of Wands, he sees you as a missed opportunity with this new understanding about how he feels about you. He wants to come forward. He wants to plant the seeds to heal the past with this Empress because of his own illusions and fear. Wow. That's, so his heart and his mind are mirroring each other very much, which is beautiful. And I didn't even talk about the bottom of the deck. I don't know why, but it's the Seven of Cups. And so the Seven of Cups is all about, so it can be about sort of daydreaming. And I feel like in this read, it's like, this is what he's thinking about. Because we asked how he sees you. So he's thinking, he's seeing you as somebody that he feels he missed an opportunity, and he's sort of, looking at how on earth could I possibly bring this back together. So it's also a card of options. So it's like he's thinking a lot about what went down and how he can possibly ever bring it back together. So it's sort of that daydreaming about the reunion. So for the third row, we're going to use this Tarot de la Nuit. And this deck we're going to use to see what action he wants to take toward you. What action does this masculine want to take toward his Divine Feminine? Okay, what does he want to do? Wow. Okay, right off the bat, we got 3 cards, so we're going to take them. The first card out is the Five of Pentacles, which, if you remember when we asked what the Divine Masculine's overall energy was at the first spread, the very first card out was the Five of Pentacles. So that's interesting because it's coming out right here again in the same position as it relates to the action he wants to take. Okay, the next card is the Four of Swords. All right, and that will go underneath our two Aces of Swords. And the third card out is Major Arcana, the Justice card. So that's a Libra energy. Perhaps you might be dealing with a Libra. Or, I'm sorry, maybe you are a Libra, excuse me. And we need one more card for the final position. And let's see, what do we have? All right. Wow. Oh my gosh. This reading is crazy. I mean, oh my gosh. Okay. So now we talked about what he wants, what he's feeling. Right? Wasn't that the first row? Sorry. Yeah. God, I'm glad I wrote this down. What is he feeling? This is how he's feeling. This is how he sees you. This is what he wants to do. Final card. We have the Temperance card. Again, in the same position as in the first row. So right here, we have the Temperance card. Just like we had the Ace of Swords, we have two Temperance cards in the same row. That's incredible. Look, you guys saw me shuffle. Spirit is talking to you. Spirit is talking to you. So this Temperance card will go right here. So what does he want to do? What action does he want to take? Well, like we said before, the Five of Pentacles is about feeling left behind, about feeling left out in the cold. So it may very well be that, you know, we were talking about the overall energy in that first row that we pulled, and we said that he was feeling left out in life, and that life had passed him by. And I do really feel strongly that he does feel like this Three of Wands, this Two of Cups with the Three of Wands with the Five of Pentacles, this is a missed opportunity. He feels like he missed the opportunity, like he messed it up too much. So as he is going within and spending time in rest and meditation and seeing his truth, like he is being hit with a freaking thunderbolt. Like this is really hitting him hard. He is really starting to see the light, which is interesting because I think the moon, the illuminating, clearing the fog from the illusions. And with the Justice card, this is about not only just balance and righting wrongs, but it's also a card of karma. That this had to happen this way to close the karma. So he is wanting to come forward. See, we've got planting seeds, come forward with an offer to right the wrongs. And with Temperance, with the Empress and the Moon and Temperance again, he wants healing. He wants that. And the bottom of the deck, what did we have here? Beautiful. We have the World card. And the World card is about endings and new beginnings. It's the last card in the Major Arcana, and the next step is back to the Fool. So this is amazing. Yep, it's about, you know, and even with that Ten of Swords that we saw in the very first spread, tens are also about endings. So I'm seeing that he is really thinking about wanting something new, coming forward in a healed way with his feminine. Excuse me. So I'm gonna pull some cards from the Twin Flame or Mystic Moon Oracles. She is a YouTube reader, and her cards are available on her Etsy shop if you're interested. But we're gonna use these to look at what the blockages are. What is he still working through for the next 10 days? What are the things that are blocking him from moving forward, or what's just in general what he's dealing with. Okay, the first card we get is numbing. So I'm gonna pull out a few the rest of the cards before I start saying too much. Tribe. Okay. Get 2 more cards here. Okay, I got 3 and I'm gonna go ahead and take them. So, refocus. God, if that isn't what we've been talking about. Regret. And the 5th card that came out is return. So things that this masculine is dealing with in terms of blockages or things that are keeping him stuck, he's numbing. He's not really, you know, he's not really ready yet to face the emotions that this is bringing up with him. He's still trying to run from this to a certain extent. He's not ready to deal with it. And tribe, with underneath these 2 swords and the 4 of swords, is he's really thinking about who he's spending time with. And it may very well be that he may begin to pull away from people in his life who have not been in his best interest. He's refocusing. So we have the refocus. He's thinking again about, like I said, how he's spending time, who he's spending time with. He has a lot of regret because he wants to return. So right now he's got to work his way through that. He's re-examining. The timing isn't right for him to move forward because he needs to really fully come to terms with what he's awakened to. Think about where he's spending his time, how he's spending his time, where he's investing himself, refocusing his energy, dealing with the regret, which is falling under these temperance cards, which, you know, we've got the moon, temperance, the empress. There's a lot of regret here about how he handled it in the decisions that he made, and he wants to return, but he needs some time yet to work through these things. So now I'm gonna clear these cards, and we're gonna look at your energy, feminine's watching, and we're gonna see what spirit has for you. So let me see, which decks did I want here? Okay, so I'm gonna actually shift focus a little bit from the tarot, and I'm gonna move into some more oracle cards for you. And I'm gonna start here with the Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle by AquaMoonlight, who is a YouTube reader, and her cards are also available on her Etsy shop. So what is, hold on, because I'm seeing upside down card. Okay, it's fine. Don't really care for that, but we'll work it out. All right, what is it that Spirit wants these feminines to know about this connection, or these connections? The most important messages these feminines need to hear about these connections. Okay, first card out. It is a spiritual connection. Deep love, soulmate, unity. So if you're having any doubts right now about whether or not this is your person, this is your person. Loud and clear. So there may be a number of you who are watching today who are really just wondering if you're crazy, but seeing that spiritual connection card is just confirmation for you. There's somebody who needed to hear that you are in fact soulmates. Emotional whirlwind. Affected, dramatic, and unstable. So you may be, like I said, if you're doubting this connection, Spirit is telling you don't. It's just so, yeah, there's definitely a large number of you I'm feeling that are watching who need to hear that message. Longing, aching, pining, and past love. So with this card here, I mean, there's not a lot of explanation required. If you're really feeling like you're missing your masculine, just know that he's not feeling great about the way he left things. Look, chemistry. Spark, passion, and desire. You are really, and maybe what you're missing too is that, you know, a physical connection that you guys have. There's a spiritual, an emotional, and a physical connection, and you miss it all. But just know, trust and know that this is real. That your connection is real. So the next row, I just wanted to get some additional messages to go with whatever came out here. And I'm using a deck called the Sacred Traveler. And we're just going to get a few more cards of advice from Spirit on what to do with these feelings. I mean, in general, I mean, I can just say that if you are involved in a twin flame connection, then you need to move on and try to let go of these feelings. The most important thing is to really, you know, a lot of people talk about attachment in the twin flame connections, and honestly, there are a lot of feminines in the collective whose attachment isn't just to the physical presence of the masculine, but there's this attachment to the wounding, and that's what causes the emotional whirlwind and the longing, is this attachment to what happened in the past and not being able to fully release what happened. So if you say that you forgive your masculine and you just want to move forward and you just want to see him back, but you're still clinging to what happened before, you're still holding on to those old energies, and as long as you're doing that, you cannot make room for the new energies wanting to come in. So just something to think about. But let's see what cards Spirit has. Okay, we've got two here. Grounding. Yep, go deep and explore your roots. So if you're feeling an emotional whirlwind, then you're not grounded. You need to get out in nature, put your feet on the ground, sit by the trees, go for a walk in the forest, go for a run, whatever it is that you do. But getting outside is usually one of the best ways to get grounded. So the next card is Narrow Pathway. Tread thoughtfully. So when I see this, there's like a bridge going through the sky that's, you know, sort of connecting these mountains through this like big chasm underneath here. There's only green in the card is this one tree, which I find kind of interesting, because get grounded, go out in the trees. Well, you know, when you get grounded, it may be a narrow path. It's not for everyone. Twin flames are not common. They are not, everyone is not a twin flame. Everyone does not have a twin flame. It's a narrow path. It's not easy. But when you take on a bigger picture, look at the bigger perspective, this journey is in fact a gift, because it's the way that our souls grow. You know, if you resonate with being a starseed, then you'll understand. Then you probably know this, but starseeds have double missions, and with double missions, in the case of twin flames, you have your mission to anchor light and love, you know, to the grid and raise the vibration of Gaia, and then you have your mission as a twin, right, bringing love. And it's not easy. It's difficult. It's facing your innermost fears and wounding, not only from this life, but sometimes from other lifetimes. So yeah, it's not easy. You must stay grounded if you're going to make it across that bridge. Great adventure. Take a risk and move forward. Venture forward. So what I'm getting here is, you know, you can't stay stuck in that energy. You have to, you know, it feels like a risk to release your twin, to release your connection to them, to stop caring about what they're doing or who they're with or how they're spending their time, if they're okay, if they're sick, all the things that, you know, might run through your mind. You're not their mother. You're their female counterpart. You don't need to mother them, because when you do that, you're not giving them the space to grow. They have to go through the growing pains just like you. So you got to release it. Taking the risk is letting them go, knowing that you're not going to ever lose them. Even, you know, if you are the same soul, you can't lose something that is you. So it feels like a risk, but really it is the way forward. By taking that risk, it is the way forward. Okay, one more card, please, Spirit, for these feminines watching. One more piece of advice. All right, something coming out, or I'm just gonna pull off the top. What do we got? What are we doing here? Okay, I'm just gonna pick here. What do we have for these divine feminines? One last message from this deck. I think somewhere in here. Okay. Rainbow blessings. I love it. Blessings are showering your life. So what I'm getting from that is that, you know, one of the ways to come out of sort of that emotional whirlwind longing kind of funk is to focus on the blessings that are right in front of you. Feeling blessed to be on this journey instead of cursing it. You know what? If I wasn't on this journey, I wouldn't be growing. My soul wouldn't be ascending. And without this journey, as difficult as it may be, it is a blessing. A difficult one, but again, all the same, you know, some of the best things in life are the hardest to come by. So, yeah. And bottom of this deck says discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. So I feel feminines are a beacon, and when you're resonating in a vibration of abundance, then your masculines are drawn to your light. So, and I'm also being called just to say, if you are getting these, if you're hearing people talk about be high vibration, be high vibration, be high vibration, you know, you can't be high vibration 100% of the time. It is impossible. Nobody can sustain that. Being high vibration is, yes, your energy feels like you literally feel energized, and you feel like you are like in a 3D sense in a high vibration. But high vibration is also about a state of mind. So when negative things happen, or when, you know, low vibe feelings come across you, being high vibration is also about looking at those feelings, acknowledging them, moving through them, not around them, not pushing them away, moving through them, and keeping, you know, staying forward on your path. So that is a high vibrational set of mindset. So don't feel like you're failing because you're not feeling energized, because this is a time when people are purging and going through so much. I wouldn't expect you to feel, in a physical sense, high vibe all the time. So with that in mind, I have some cards called the Starseed Oracle. Absolutely beautiful. And I would like to pull a card for you from this deck as a final piece of advice. And then we're going to get some romance angels and some message cards from the DM to the DF to close out the reading. So one Starseed Oracle message card for the feminines watching who are dealing with fire sign masculine energies. Can we get a message card for these feminines, please, Spirit? Okay, we got two, and that is fine. Oh my God, you have got to be kidding me. Okay, so I was just talking about star seeds. In the bottom of the deck, it says double mission. Lightworker, starseed, serve the world by being you. So what is your mission? It's twofold. Serving the higher good, and by being on a twin flame journey, bringing an anchoring light. So that's crazy because I just said that. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I have 3 cards, so we're going to go ahead and take them all. All right, so the first card is karmic relationships. So in the beginning of this reading, or at some point during this reading, I said that I felt some of these masculines had another person they were in a relationship with. And so if that's the case for you, understand that karmic relationships are about soul growth, okay, and conflict. So these masculines are in these karmic relationships because they have lessons to learn still. And Spirit doesn't want you to be the person they learn the lesson with, because you are them. They need to go outside of the connection to learn the lessons that they need to ascend and become one with their feminine counterpart. So understand and know the karmic relationships are a part of the journey. They are a part of the cycle. You shouldn't feel triggered or angry toward the person they are in a karmic connection with, because they are there to serve the highest good of that masculine, to force him to learn the lessons he needs to learn. And I'm going to say that probably most, if not all of you listening, have had karmic partners of your own. And they're always difficult relationships. They're never easy, but they're also exceedingly difficult to let go of for whatever reason. So that is part of the learning. Okay, so the karmic relationship that might be happening right now with your counterpart, it's all for the highest good of everyone involved. Next card, loosen your grip. Coping, letting God in, density, addiction. So this, I feel, speaks strongly to how are you reacting. So we've got spiritual connection, emotional whirlwind, longing, chemistry, right? Grounding, narrow path, take a risk, blessings. So if you're holding on so tightly to your masculine, you're not really giving them the space they need to grow. So it's just about letting go and letting God, letting Spirit, letting, whatever higher power you resonate, take control. Because when you try to control things, it's just going to push your masculine away further. So let go, loosen your grip, trust the process, trust the journey. So finally, empathic starseed, it says energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So again, I'm going to go right back to it and say you need to let go. You need to release your masculine. It feels like a risk, but it's the only way forward. And when you shield yourself energetically from what they're going through in their karmic cycles, you are releasing your own part of the soul to move forward. And I personally would recommend calling in your guides and in a meditation and asking them to block your masculine energetically so that you can no longer feel him and he can no longer feel you. And it doesn't sever the connection. It simply gives you some space to breathe. Because what's happening as an empathic starseed, if you're feeling what your masculine is going through, absorbing what's not yours, it's suffocating you, and it's not even your energy. You do not need to be taking on the energy of your masculine going through karmic cycles. What you need to do is release, take a risk and let go, and let God move forward in your own, over here at bottom of the deck, solitary, on your own, single. And when you do that, you create the space not only for your masculine to heal and come forward, but for your own soul to continue on your path and ascend into your missions, into your higher purposes, your double missions. Okay? So that's what I have for you. But I would like to leave you with something, a little something from the masculines before we sign off. And oh, darn it. Okay, that's weird. Somehow, excuse me, because I have to get the Romance Angel deck. It wasn't next to me, which I thought I was so prepared, but clearly I wasn't ready with this one. So still definitely want to use it. I have to give it a couple of extra shuffles for you on camera. What do you want these feminines who are watching to know about the masculines they are dealing with? Fire signs for today, January 20th through January 31st. Someone's wearing a false mask. Well, did we not pull out the Seven of Swords as the first card when we were talking about how he's feeling about you? Yeah. So what you see isn't what's really going on. There is a deception. Actually, I think I'm going to set these up so you can see them a little better. There's a deception going on. What you see is there's a whole lot more going on under the surface. So just because he is posting, or his person is posting on social media and they're smiling and happy and look like everything is wonderful, just remember the people who are doing the most posting are usually the ones that are trying to do the most convincing. All right, next thing we want to leave you with is stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So it's kind of like that, what you think about, you bring about. Although I do think that with twin flames in particular, their manifestation works a little differently, because you can't speed up the timing of things. No matter how much you're manifesting it, it just takes the time it takes. So don't be discouraged. Next card, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So a couple of things here. Could be addictions that your masculine is dealing with, maybe drinking. We did get that numbing card, and I didn't call out drinking specifically or doing drugs because it did cross my mind, but there is another card in the deck called medicating, and that didn't come up, so I felt like, you know, I should be distinct from that card. But with codependency, it's very possible that your masculine or even you might be dealing with some addictions. And the other thing too is, you know, just codependent behavior on each other, the enabling behavior. So, you know, codependency is something that a lot of twins, excuse me, have dealt with. And it's all about letting go and standing in your own strength and knowing that you don't need anyone, including your twin, to make you whole or to achieve joy and happiness and abundance in your life. All right, 2 final cards came out. Okay. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So what I'm getting from this is that when you do finally come back together with your twin, you are both going to be different people. You will have both grown and changed a lot, and there will be a period of time where you need to get to know one another again. And don't let that stress you out, because if you have the soul connection, the spiritual connection, which that was the first card out here, getting to know each other again is going to be nothing more than a joy. There's nothing to fear from it. You're still going to be connected. So this as the final thought, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I said this repeatedly. Release the past, heal the past. And as that happens, you experience more love in the present. And when you're resonating in joy in the present, that is when your masculine is energetically going to be called in. Love yourself first, bottom of the deck. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So if you're sitting around longing and pining and you know, a mess, then, you know, just men and women in general. Men are attracted to a confident woman who sets boundaries and respects herself. Sorry, that was me. So when you're sitting around moping and pining, that's literally, you know, unattractive. It's repulsive on an energetic level, and the, you know, masculines are programmed not to come to their feminines when they're in that energy. So, you know, when you think about raising your vibration, it's just about releasing the trauma and moving forward into joy and abundance and living in the moment. And if you haven't read Eckhart Tolle's book called The Power of Now. I suggest that you do, and I will put that in the description box as well. All right, so twin flame messages from Mystic Moon Oracles. From Mystic Moon, and they are oracle cards, and we're going to get a couple messages. Just want to see here what your divine masculine's 5D higher self wants you to know. All right. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. So that I think maybe perhaps some of you may have even heard those words from him before. Okay. I can't handle your words right now. So like I said, they aren't ready. They aren't ready to talk. They're thinking about it, but they're just not ready. And I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. And this is that regret that we saw. So they're realizing now they may not have made the right decision. They regret what happened, but they're not ready to speak yet. They need a little bit more time. So, feminines, I hope that this reading was helpful for you, and I appreciate you tuning in and sticking with me to the end. If you liked this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe below, and I will see you next time.